Don't you love farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clouds? Quick, send in the clouds. Don't bother, they're here.
Desiree, I'm sorry. I should never have come. To flirt with rescue when one has no intention of being saved. Do try to forgive me.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And isn't it rich?
Are we a pair?
Me here at last on the ground.
You in midair.
Send in the clowns. They're here. I don't know what that was, Will. I honestly, I was going to do one line and move on.
You gotta roll with it.
You gotta take it down. This comes a sing-along episode. Will, what was your relationship with the Little Night Music, or was there one at all other than you knew Send in the Clowns?
Yeah, but it's just always been, I mean, I've always known it's been very nice, but it's always, to me, been the running Judi Dench singing Send in the Clouds joke.
What's the joke there?
Judy doesn't, whenever she's in a musical,
she just
randomly break into, isn't it? No, Judy. No, we're doing Hairspray, Judy.
Who would Judi Dench be in Hairspray?
Corny Collins.
And once a month. This is a great game.
Stop.
Did I ever tell you when I was on a cruise and we were watching and there was doing it and it was a musicals performance and they changed it to once a month we have our dancing day and I'm the man who keeps it spinning round. I played Connie Collins once.
I know.
Oh, fair enough. A Little Night Music, Will. Absolutely delightful show that I love a lot. Just this beautiful, romantic, hilarious at times, funny, sweet, wonderful little show. What was your first impression?
I thought it was wonderful. It could almost be a Rodgers and Hammerstein.
It is a very strict book, isn't it?
It's so very Sondheim. It's great. It's again very Woods for me.
In what sense?
It's written by Stephen Sondheim. No, it had a lot of Woodisms. Also, the bits of Sweeney I picked up. I don't know, phrases and stuff.
This is like you're drinking a glass of wine.
Oz Clarke.
I'm getting a touch of Sweeney in the bouquet. You know what? I was rereading one of my own plays. I know this is an incredibly arrogant thing. And the second act is more or less one night, and it's one of these huge ensembles, and people keep coming in and coming out. And after watching Follies, and after, spoiler alert, listening to a bit of it, Into the Woods again, I was like, oh, my entire second act is based entirely around the first act of Into the Woods and the second half of Follies, of because I think there are two kinds of ensemble Sondheim shows, and A Little Night Music falls somewhere in there also.
Yeah.
Of these second acts, where the first acts are scene, but the second acts are largely in one location, and it is just snippets of conversation fluttering through, the people coming through, and these beautifully Hal Prince staged productions, and the people are just walking in and they say a couple of lines and then they walk straight off, and somehow we know exactly where they all are each time. And this is one of those. Also, it's a pure farce.
Oh yeah.
I mean, was that a farce? You know, blah blah blah. It's a farce with moments of which lets the moments of romance have some of the most beautiful love songs ever written, have the bitter old, you know, wife have a beautiful song describing the pain of her existence with every day a little death. It's a complete farce play that has been given these wonderful songs, and somehow it meets in the middle with this lovely combination of romance and darkness and light and loneliness, and it's absolutely glorious. Music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim, book by Hugh Wheeler, who will of course go on to do Todd with Stephen.
Oh yes.
And it's suggested by Ingmar Bergman's film Smiles of the Summer Night, which I do have, but I didn't get a chance to watch prior to this recording. I know, amateur. Ingmar Bergman granted the rights, only withdrawing the title. And this was following a letter from Sondheim and Prince. However, when the musical is produced in Germany, they do still call it Smiles of a Summer Night, because if they did it in Germany, it would quite literally be Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
Yeah.
And Sondheim says that would be misleading for German audiences. Ingmar Bergman then saw A Little Night Music, the production, and liked it so much that he began a correspondence with Sondheim to work on a show. Unfortunately, that fell through, but Sondheim very much, there was a reviewer, he tells the story in one of the books, and it was a reviewer who was like, Ingmar Bergman would hate this. And then he sent a letter back saying, as a matter of fact, Mr. Bergman enjoyed it so much that he approached me to write a musical with him. And then there was no response. That was how he ended it. Did you know any of the other songs, Will, from
No.
We'll get to Send in the Clowns later, but on a just a first reaction, when did this show grab you? I think that's a question I've been asking a couple of times to you, and I like it.
Oh, I would say quite suddenly, actually.
Yes. Now Later Soon is very early, and that's obviously absolutely sensational.
Is yeah, I was hooked from then.
Very interesting opening. Well, we'll get to that. Let's talk some more intro. Hal Prince describes the show. It says it's whipped cream with knives. It's pretty nice. I like that. That, you know, it is this sweet, fluffy romance, but underneath is the bitterness. I mean, Every Day a Little Death. I mean, an incredible song, but just such pained lyrics behind it. And of course, Send in the Clowns. I mean, in so many ways, it's been removed repeatedly through the years from its original conception. But again, the minute you see Send in the Clowns in the middle of the second act here, suddenly you're like, oh no, this is the perfect place, and this is the way the song was meant to be. Like, just hearing it as a pop song, all of the lyrics about acting, somewhat, they don't go over your head, but it's like, why is she talking about farce? Why is she doing? But of course, Desiree, I mean, what a beautiful lyric, losing my timing this late in my career. And as a pop song, that just sounds like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. It's nice still, but as an actress, it of course puts it all in a beautiful foundation. Michael Weber described the show as dramatizing a sexual game of musical chairs, which is of course just pure farce.
Yeah.
You love a farce, Will, don't you?
I do.
Who doesn't? The majority of the music is in triple time, or made up of trio songs, or duets about a third person.
Where they sing about the other third. I read that.
Say again?
I read that.
Oh, very good. Yes, yeah. We're reading from the same hymn sheet. Well, and it's one of those things where you read that and you think, oh, that must grow quite monotonous. But as a matter of fact, with all the reprises of the group singers, it sort of becomes intoxicating and hypnotic, don't you find?
Right. I think it's very, very clever.
Mm.
He clearly had a lot of fun writing this.
Mm. Or did he? The
Oh,
majority, yeah. Follies lost all of its investment and cash cow fiddler. This is why I don't like autocorrect. Oh, and no, that was literally correct. And cash cow Fiddler on the Roof had just shut after 8 years. And so the Prince organization needed a hit. So there was originally this fantasy concept where the weekend would keep starting over with Madame Armfelt doing new solitaire cards. And the first time, everybody would end up with the wrong partner. The second time, everybody would go great, but Henrik would kill himself. And then the third time, Desiree would arrange everything perfectly, but apart from herself, Frederick would put his gloves on and leave. Again, I can see that show. I can see how that would work. I much prefer this chronological straight book musical. How do you feel? I'm sure you agree.
I think, yeah, it's a cool concept, but I do think you'd have to be clever about the songs and stuff. Like, it would be 3 acts probably, or 3 short acts.
Well, this is the thing, yeah. When do you introduce this? Do you make the first act shorter and then make the second act that fantasy concept? Because the first act is just pure setup, very entertaining setup, but you need all of that setup for the second act to work.
Because then you'd have to, like, by the time you get to the third concept, you're like, oh, I've seen all this before. So, and usually when things do that, they rush through the other concepts slightly and hark back to previous stuff. You can't have them each as their own, I think.
It's the problem with any vignette sort of thing. I mean, most recently, French Dispatch, the whole second story with Timothy Chalamet and Frances McDormand was my least favorite by far. And all through that, I was thinking, yeah, I'm ready for the third one. Because in the back of your head, you're knowing that there's going to be a third one. It's kind of what he talked about with Follies and Loveland, how he didn't want to fall into the audience to fall into the trap of, okay, Ben's got his song now, Phyllis has her song. And I think you'd sort of have that here as well. I mean, it has a nice triple quality to it, which of course leads into the constant triangles and the constant everything. But yeah, no, I agree. Sondheim originally wrote darker songs. However, Hal talked him out of it, said, I was writing songs for Bergman's film, not Wheeler's play. Again, I wish I could have seen Bergman's film in time, but by all accounts, it is a darker piece. Very, very... Is he Swedish?
I mean, it's set in Sweden. I don't know if
is Ingmar Bergman Swedish. Ingmar Bergman was a Swedish film director.
Yeah.
He died in 2007, aged 89. Ingmar Bergman has died at age 89. Flora Roberts, this is Flora talking about Hal. Some of Hal's biggest investors were dying. I thought he was joking when he told me that in the middle of a telephone conversation with one of his biggest investors, the man died of a stroke. Again, they were in dire need of cash. They were in dire need of a hit. This is another one of those things where it's like, I mean, this is still how it's kind of run a lot now, but investors, these just huge investors who would put up all the money for these the majority of the money for these sort of things, and would either get it back or lose it, which is a sort of thing that isn't entirely unheard of now. It's just such a wild concept. I mean, you'd never have a producers nowadays, would you? You would never load of a line of old ladies being your investors. Prince, going into the first rehearsal with 10 out of the 16 songs was sheer lunacy. It was maddening, and I'll never allow it to happen again with anyone. So yeah, it was quite a fun experience for him apparently, but also he only had half the songs, which is quite disastrous when heading in. And I don't know, the way that Prince says that there of, I'm not going to let it happen again with anyone. Is there a bit of friction there between Prince and Sondheim? Was Sondheim not growing arrogant with his talent, but was Sondheim very confident in the fact, no, I will get you 16 songs before rehearsal finishes? And Prince was maybe taken in by that? I don't know. How do you feel?
I, I think they're both in the wrong, but I'm on Hal's side. I think
Oh yeah,
it's just annoying. It disrupts rehearsals.
yeah. I have worked on 2 new musicals, and it is like, it's very different from just a play, and you can just take out a whole scene and all that sort of thing. Because especially if it's as intricate as this is, or as the first one I worked on was, or the second one really, but all of the music bleeds in and all that sort of thing. And if it's as intricate a piece as this is, like famously, Sondheim loves puzzles and all that sort of thing, you know, it's quite sheer impossibility for it to I don't even know what I'm saying, but it sounds like a terrible, terrible process. But then of course here we are 50 years later. Oh, this is an excellent show, this is a perfect musical. So like, you know, it's that typical thing of okay, but they pulled it off. And so, yeah, and we'll talk about clowns later. So for this episode, we looked at the 1990 New York City opera production starring Sally Ann Howes, who recently passed, who you'll know better, Will, as what's her name? Truly Scrumptious, that's it, yeah. Who is wonderful in this as Desiree. And Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of things I've noted just about the way that this was filmed in 1990. On the curtain is a quote projected by John Rousseau. Now the production of it, like, it doesn't say what it is, because the show's starting and they go, just say what the quote is, man. Okay, Hugh Downs describes the show as opening. The show begins with 5 singers who sing the recurrent theme of Remember, a clue to the long dormant love affair that's at the heart of our stories. Then, 2 by 2, we meet the theatrical people whose entangled relationships are untangled during the course of the evening. That's a pretty good sales pitch. I'm pretty in. How did you feel about this opening, Will, where suddenly we're in this rehearsal and then suddenly it's this choral piece and it's not your typical overture?
No, I loved it. I loved it a lot.
And eventually it sort of segues into a more swooning and the overture, the night waltz, as it's discussed on the album. And yeah, this concept of them rehearsing around a piano, what do you think of that? I mean, you could infer that sort of they're all actors sensibilities, but does it work, this whole concept of them starting off rehearsing around a piano?
It was exactly how you opened
yes.
of East.
Yes, I did have a A-level production of Stephen Berkoff's East where I did open like this. I genuinely forgot about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks for bringing PTSD. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to say this, devil's advocate, and I don't think I believe it. Is the Remember theme sang and played too much throughout the show? It is done an awful lot. There's a part in the second act where I'm literally like, oh, not again. But it is such a beautiful piece of music.
Yeah, it is.
How do you feel? It's a bit like in Eyes Wide Shut, where like you're halfway to the end and it's like they keep playing that the ding, 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 and you go, oh my God. Did you feel it was too much?
It didn't annoy me that much, but I guess you've seen it many times, so
I've seen it many times, and I do this thing, and like a madman, I know, where I just listen to the albums before these recordings for like a good week. I know, because I want the music to be so ingrained in me. Oh, how you promised and oh, how I lied. Again, one of those first lyrics of Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Do you read this as the ghosts of many other love affairs, or do you read this as quite literally the voices inside the heads of Desiree and Frederick?
I was thinking a more literal, yeah.
Of Desiree and Frederick. I think the big glimpse is the big remember, where it's sort of credited as a song on the album, interspersed between the watching of the opera and the first time they share that moment, that locking of eyes. Then there's a swingers waltz, which I've called it, where all the characters come on and swap partners and all that sort of thing. And again, it's just perfectly bringing you into this world of high elegance and waltzing and the music and the romance, and it's swooning and everybody's changing partners. It's quite a frank show sexually, don't you find?
Yeah.
I mean, and I love, just as a very simple choice, there's no shaming around the character of Petra.
Virgin.
No, Anne. Anne's the virgin. Petra is the miller's son and the maid who has sex with Henrik, and you know, constantly talks about how great sex is, and you're a virgin? I could never be, you know, and it's never played for laughs, and she's not some dumb slut or something. It's this, and then the miller's son, she gets the biggest, quote unquote, really, when it comes to like placement, 11 o'clock number stuff, she gets the biggest song of the show. If you look at it in a pure old-fashioned structure point, she gets the ladies are lunch number. And that's quite a weird choice when you think about it, really. This character who has not been in a lot, has been in it then and again, sang a little bit, took Henrik's virginity, and then sang a little bit in A Weekend in the Country. But we'll get there later. Solitaire is the only game in the world that requires absolute honesty. What did you think of Madame Armfeld?
Great. I want that chair.
Yes, we're going to talk about Elaine later. Elaine played this recently on Broadway.
Yeah, I've seen those kids. Yeah.
Liaisons. Raisins. Ah, liaisons.
I said when Elaine did it, I mean, it's a long show.
Yes.
It's a long show. I'm guessing it was even longer when Elaine did it.
I have seen videos of liaisons and it's like 7 minutes and I go, that is just Elaine in the villa of the Baron de Signac, where I spent a somewhat infamous year. I even in The Glamorous Life, she doesn't keep with the normal timing. She's mine, tours. It's just excellent. Every line is a killer. Mother surviving, la. Just great stuff. Yeah, Into the Woods, Red Riding Hood, Barbara Byrne from the 1980s. Into the Woods. Did you recognize her, Will, or did you need me to jog your memory?
Yes.
Did the voice not trigger it for you?
No.
Wait, which album of Into the Woods do you listen to?
Oh, I listened to original Broadway.
Thank God, yeah. And her voice didn't trigger it for you?
Is it Zeke or Zach? What's he
Chip
called?
Zine.
Chip, that's him.
Chip Zine, Joanna Gleason, Bernadette, Tom Aldridge. Yeah.
We'll save who I think the best Desiree is for later. That's reminded me.
Do you not think it's Judy?
I think it's Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh my God! Oh wow! Have you seen her perform "Send in the Clowns"?
No. Is she good?
Well, we'll talk about Catherine later.
Yeah. Okay.
I love this take though. I think it's great. Isn't it? When Anne taunting Henrik, isn't it gloomy? It's profound. What did you think of Anne, the poor put upon virgin?
That's great.
Absolutely, just delightful. I love that she just never stops laughing at Henrik. That there's no moment, even in their romance as it blossoms, there's no like, she never stops laughing and that's how we know they're in love. She's mocking and teasing him till the very end, which I love. What did you think of Henrik? the the outrageously depressed Christian.
Great part.
And this guy, I think a big thing is that this is performed by an opera company. So some of the acting is rather broad. And maybe this is the NT Live thing where we're watching it close up and it's a performance for an entire opera house. But Henrik is going for it.
He sure is.
And it works very well, I feel. Who do you think's the MVP of this production, performance-wise?
What do you mean by MVP?
Most valuable player. I know we're not football people, Will.
No, I didn't. I've never heard that.
You've never heard MVP?
No. I know VAT.
Let's not have a tangent about acronyms we know. That would be yeah. No, I want you to tell me what YMCA means.
Young man's. That's a guess. the young men's community union, or
union spelled with an A.
Oh yeah, the young man's community accommodation.
Young Men's Christian Association.
Oh.
I don't know if they'd like the village people.
Oh no, I think you're thinking of different one because there's charity shops. There's a YMCA in Ponty.
YMCA. Now I'm looking at the show. The song remains popular and is played at many sporting events. In September 2000, YMCA was used as the space shuttle wake-up call on day 11. It set a. Why am I reading the YMCA Wikipedia page? I'm sorry.
Think about a little note.
A little bit, yeah. Oh, how we love the young man. Which brings us to now, later, soon. Now,
later,
soon. Let's begin.
Yes.
Do you think? I mean, obviously, this ends with the wonderful reveal of Desiree and him cuddling the pillow.
Mm.
Do you think it's a weird choice that it's not Night Waltz, Glamorous Life, Now Later Soon? Or do you think this works? I think it obviously works.
Yeah, I think it works because it's part of the three that come after this. That's fine. Yeah. But how else are you going to introduce this storyline?
Yes, this yes.
Why not just go straight in? Yeah.
Have you seen? I mean, you follow musical theatre pages, but this is literally a Little Night Music meme, which is somebody's porn up title of cello kid fucks stepmom. It's very funny, but because it is literally just an entire 10 minutes unto itself, and it has its own arc, and it has Now Later Soon, and then them all coming together. We'll talk about this later when it comes to putting it into our song canon. Well, we'll talk about it later. We'll see where we go. Have you ranked this as now? Sorry?
Are we separated Now, Later, and Soon? Or are we having the entire thing?
It depends.
Because I like Now.
Personally. I like Now.
That's good. That's good. I am a top of the king of the mothers, the power.
Of course. Yes, I like Now. Yeah. I also like Later and Soon.
Yeah. Well, let's just stick it in.
Yeah, because it's definitely. What have I put? I've put in a couple of versions of songs that I think we might be using in the canon, and I've currently put. I haven't picked a Now Later Soon, have I? No, I haven't.
Ooh. How many? We're only on 4 for this, weren't we?
We can do 5.
All right.
We can do 5. We can do 5. I ranked every song.
Oh.
I don't know why I haven't done this for the other shows. Probably because Follies has a score of 20 songs. But I've ranked all 11 songs. So and I have put Now Later Soon as 1.
As the best?
No, as number 5.
All right. Oh.
As number 5, but as now / later / soon.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We've got so much to talk about, Will.
Time.
Now, A, I could ravish a B, I could nap. Maybe one of the funniest lines he's ever written.
Yeah. For lyrics, I've just put that entire song in.
B delineate, Will. Discriminate.
Explain.
No, discriminate. Pick one. Pick a line. You can't just do the whole song.
I'm gonna go disarmingly be in the nude. That might be effective. My body's all right, but not in perspective.
But not in perspective, and not in the light.
Not in the light, about to be chilly and feel a buffoon.
But not just a silly.
Mid-afternoon with Lisa suggestive and how to proceed. Although she gets rested, perhaps I could read it.
Dickens too frantic. And I'm sorry to say, but it's has Christian Andersen ever escape, which eliminates Sondheim. However, this is another example. Well, I'm sorry. This is Stephen Sondheim. This lyric is another example of the difference between clever and funny. The two elaborate rhymed stanzas about the books Frederick considers reading to Anne have never gotten even a snicker, nor should they. They are a form of literary masturbation and are too clever by half, a phrase British critics are fond of overusing. And I put here, I used it discussing Whistle, I believe, calling it too clever by half, I believe, and we did that. I think this is your like click in point.
Yeah.
And I think it's weird that your entry into the show, like your big opening number, quote unquote, is now and is Frederick, because this is one of those things where I think with Who's Afraid, the same with Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, where a lot of people think it's Martha's show. George is on for more. Frederick has more songs. He's in it for more scenes. And although Desiree has Send in the Clowns, and although this has often been, and although I'd say it's a co-lead, Frederick is definitely the lead over Desiree.
Oh, yeah.
If you're just looking at runtime, songs, all that sort of stuff, it's the lead role. And actually, Send in the Clowns was supposed to be another Frederick song, but we'll get there later.
Oh.
Petra flirting with Henrik, which will obviously have its payoff later. Then later. Now, this is my least favorite of the three. It's very fun and it's very enjoyable to laugh at how sad he is.
Yeah.
Henrik, your Lindor being pure, Henrik. But also, it's not monotonous, but it is quite plodding. And it's intentionally plodding and it's intentionally melancholic and depressive, but it is quite dry. I've put here that it's a sad and funny version of Joanna Requiem. Talking about like the Catholic, Catholic guilt and all that sort of thing. The body, deliver me. And then, sorry?
Mea culpa.
That's it. It's called Joanna Mea Culpa, isn't it? Not Joanna Requiem. I have told you my Joanna Mea Culpa story, haven't I?
No.
I'm saving that. Just you get ready. And then soon I won't be but away. Did you watch or any clip or skip through the Jessie Buckley version that the Many-Eyed Chocolate Factory with Hannah Waddingham and Jessie Buckley as Anne?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think of Jessie Buckley?
This was the version that Angela Lansbury was in, wasn't it?
No, that's the other version. Yeah, no, that's the Catherine Zeta-Jones, Angela Lansbury, then Bernadette Peters and Elaine Stritch. But it was the same version. That was a Broadway transfer of the London Many-Eyed Chocolate Factory production.
I was going to say the Chocolate Factory rang a bell.
Directed by Trevor Nunn. And it's, well, yeah, we'll talk about it. But obviously Jessie Buckley is a famed star of stage and screen, isn't she? And she's wonderful and she's great as Anne. What did you think? How did you feel about the sudden reveal, Desiree? How did you feel? Did it sort of throw you for a loop? Because also you don't know who Desiree is yet, do you?
No.
So you're like, and right. Also, be honest with me, Will. Did you remember that his wife's name was Anne, and did you think he was talking about his wife?
Maybe.
You did, didn't you? That's fine. The yeah, because this is why I think Glamorous Life should come before.
Oh.
I don't know. I just feel like Glamorous Life feels more like an opening number and makes this more Desiree's show, even though what we've just talked about. I don't know. How do you feel? Do you think Glamorous Life should be before, or what? How do you feel?
I like it how it is because it's I think the reveal pays off better.
Yeah. And then we're back to again rehearsing at the piano. Ordinary mothers lead ordinary lives.
Yeah. Also, like Desiree not being there to start with, and her it reflects on that thing that she's not always around. Like, but for a daughter, she misses it, and okay, we can see why. And then because I'm doing all this, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, very slight tangent. Gemma Collins.
In Chicago as Mama Morton.
When you're good to
what the hell is that going to be?
Let's go watch it. Right.
I'm going to be on the Seven Seas. You know what? A little lyric I obviously enjoy Madame Armfeld. Ordinary daughters. Especially Elaine Stritch. But a lyric I enjoy here. Half empty houses, la la la. Is Desiree a popular actress?
Yeah.
And the half empty houses line is just like then and again you get shitty, you're in shitty towns.
She gave me what's the Hugh Grant movie with
Paddington 2.
Meryl Streep.
Florence Foster Jenkins.
Gave me Florence Foster Jenkins vibes.
The second movie where Meryl Streep contracts syphilis.
Can you guess? Out of Africa.
Correct, Will. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. I should have done that as a question for the next quiz.
Oh, please. I need my title back.
Yeah, you did lose your title.
I did.
There isn't going to be a quiz Will this year because of the cruising and all the stuff.
I think you'll find there is another host of this podcast.
Oh. Do you know how to edit, Will? Do you know how to upload, Will?
Yeah. But I won't. I've not got time.
We can you're just doing yourself. We could do that if you wanted.
We could. But let's put a pin in it.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll see how we see it. That could work anyway. Right. Okay. I'm getting excited now because I could finally be in one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting excited.
And I could create some different rounds.
Yeah, but you got to keep this is where the problem rises. This is where the problem rises. Anyway, remember. Oh, sorry. Early morning, darling. Early morning. This is filthy,
darling.
This is absolutely filthy. The condition of the room when we were through. You limped. I had a cold for a week. I always forget how naughty this song is. How we laughed, how we wept, how we polkaed, and how we slept. And it also has that great Christine moment, the phantom Christine moment of, could it be Christine? Bravo! Long ago, it seems so long ago, how young and innocent we were. Oh, I love Phantom. How could we do a Phantom episode? We've talked about this, doing Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, no, I'd happily do the same what we're doing now, but as a fortnight.
Yes,
With
it
Andrew
would
Lloyd Webber.
severely truncated, severely cut down. Yes, well, like the worst Sondheim shows we've had fun talking about and are interesting and have good qualities. I don't know what the best part of Stephen Ward is going to be.
I don't think we'll even get aspects in there.
No, that's the problem. This is the problem. Anyway,
Yeah.
and also I don't think I want to watch any Cats again.
Really?
Because we'd have to do 2 episodes. We'd have to do the movie and the 90s, the filming of it.
Oh, is that the one with
Elaine and John Partridge, yeah.
John Partridge as Rob Tum is great.
Yeah. If you offer me pheasant, I'd rather have grouse. So, Will, what's your favourite lyric from A Little Night Music? Well, I'm a big fan of Isn't It Rich? Milk!
We're just going, meow.
Meow. Still annoys me. They build, we've talked about this so many times. They build that entire Cats movie around, look at these 20 actors that we've got in it. You had Ray Winstone and he wasn't even there.
Yeah, that Ray Winstone was the best part. It's like cut, and it's Ray Winstone on a bar. Like, bloody hell. This is great.
It threw us off for a whole 10 minutes because we were thinking, is that Ray Winstone? Because they would have said, surely.
Yeah, surely he's got top billing as Ray Winstone.
Judi Dench. Well, in many ways, I'm a bit of a trans Deuteronomy. Sondheim, however, again, spoiler of fun, Stephen Sondheim. I ignored logic for laughs. He's talking about how this was supposed to be the stories of Desiree and Frederick. However, he sort of just threw that out for laughs. I shudder with a mixture of pleasure and shame. Because it is great. And then we cut to immediately Henrik. Oh, sorry, do you have any other notes on Remember?
No.
Is this in your top whatevers?
No.
I currently have Remember at 8.
I think that's an appropriate place, actually.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Thank you, Will. We have sinned, and it was a complete failure. These buttons, these insufferable buttons. Poor Henrik. What does he mean it's failed? He couldn't get it up or he came too early? We don't have to answer that question.
No.
Then we get, for me, my favourite scene in the entire thing. The extended dressing room sequence where Frederick and Desiree meet again. You Must Meet My Wife, which isn't my favourite song, but I do like a lot. And
it's number 3 for me.
Will, it's number 3 for me.
Oh yeah.
Do we have the same top 3? Send in the Clowns, You Must Meet My Wife.
I've got Now Later Soon.
Oh.
I've also got It Would Have Been Wonderful.
Okay.
And I've got the Overture / Night Waltz in there.
Okay, right. You're throwing off the whole sense here. She's only 18. Oh. So you took her home and tucked her in her cot with her rattle and her woolly penguin. I've always enjoyed how Sally says that. Don't specify the vegetable, please. I'm easily deflated. Again, very sexually frank. I enjoy it a lot. And then You Must Meet My Wife. Just an absolute. So this was written because Glynis Johns, the original Desiree, was not a talented singer. And she just, the whole breath, well, no, she was a talented singer, but her big problem was breath control. Hence, Send in the Clowns. He's said this so many times. D, 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 2, 3. D, 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 2, 3. Because she just had no major breath control. And that was, but what did she have? Killer line readings. So the entire concoction of You Must Meet My Wife, just letting her, you know, I must meet your Gertrude. What's your favorite Desiree line, killer line?
Oh, I haven't got one written down.
I must meet your wife. Let me get my hat and my knife. I mean, we all know the answer. Well, She's really quite simple. Yes, that much seems clear. That was my Catherine impression.
That was Patti LuPone playing Desiree.
She has played it. It's wonderful.
Has she?
She literally does it like that. She just doesn't even give it any comedy. She goes, yeah, but it's hilarious. And he goes, it's with George Hearn.
Oh, George. And this is with Len.
Yes, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
This isn't, but the original Broadway is with Len. Len, yeah. This is with, I want to say George David something. Sweeney Boys. But surely you don't listen to that album because you don't like Angela Lansbury.
Correct. I listened to the Michael Ball Imelda one.
You goddamn right. Oh, yes. I need to find a bootleg of that so we can discuss it in the second Sondheim episode. Second Sweeney Todd episode. But again, I could just pluck from my memory, couldn't I? No, Patti go, yeah. She's really quite simple. Yes, that much seems clear. It's very good. Liaisons. You didn't care for Liaisons, Will?
If I'm honest, Tom, no.
Not at all.
No. No, I liked it. I think it's because I watched Angela Lansbury sing it.
Yes. Wait, so you didn't watch the 1990 N.Y.C opera?
I did.
Oh, and you just skipped, and then you watched, yeah.
Tom made me a playlist of little things to watch.
I did, yeah.
I watched it.
Good. Oh, so we can talk about Alan Tishmarsh. Yeah.
And here is the next song.
Don't get ahead of ourselves. Well, we've got half an hour of Tishmarsh talk. So I think it's the person. I think Hermione Gringold on the original Broadway is sensational. I think Regina Resnick in this version, in the N.Y.C that we watched, I think Angela's pretty terrible. This is the first time I've ever agreed so adamantly with you about Angela Lansbury. Well, again, this episode comes out 7 months.
Oh, so it was you.
And Elaine's obviously sensational. I don't trust anybody who doesn't make a joke of raisins, liaisons. Angela, raisins, liaisons. Whereas Elaine, absolute deadpan, is not even figs, raisins, liaisons. Where was I? In the villa of the Baron de Signac. I quite like liaisons when it's done well. Like Sean Phillips in the Alan Titchmarsh production.
We call it the Alan Titchmarsh. Who did he play?
That might be my Desert Island disc. To see them
this is the miller's son, and you'll see in the background there's a wonderful clematis.
What's the name of his biography that's been circling recently?
Oh, green-fingered. So I don't know, what is it?
Google it. It's like From Trowel to Grave or something. It's really funny.
It's called autobiography, not biography. Yeah. I've written about Alan Trowel and Error. Very good, Alan.
Thank you, Alan. Hermione,
ground force every day.
I just think there's just really funny lines. To see them indiscriminate women, it pains me more than I can say. And don't you just get the vibe of your grandma telling you stories and forgetting the story halfway through, going into another one, and then falling asleep? Which Regina Resnick does not pull off. Who was prematurely deaf, but a dear. Hermione Gingold's audition, she was fine, but then after it, she said, I read the script, and it says in the script that the character is 74, and I am 74. And it says in the script that at the end, her wig slips. And then at that point, she took off her wig and she was completely bald. And they gave her the part as soon as she left.
Oh, wow.
It's a stupid no, opera audiences. I love the sound of an opera audience. They're all just bravoing and oh, bravo, bravo, brilliant. Here we meet Count Malcolm. What did you think of Count Malcolm, Will?
I thought I know who'd play Count Malcolm if we were doing. It's you, Tom.
I was no. Well,
No,
I guess
you're not a. No.
I'm not a physical type, am I? No, you know who I'd be.
You wouldn't be Friedrich.
Not for a while.
No.
But then.
Are you saying you're Frederick and I'm Henrik?
Yes, I am. Yes, that was really good. That's good casting.
But I can't belt a B4.
Yeah, Henrik. Oh, well, that was quite good actually. Anyway,
That was falsetto, mate. You're kidding yourself.
Fucking all right, calm down. I have 5 hours with my wife. Just
This is our first podcast actually since.
No, that's untrue because we did Deep Water.
Did we also do some?
I made
for a while
because I was talking about Ben as Vic Van Allen and saying, in this scene he's kind of saying keep my wife's name. What's great is that this will come out after the next Oscars.
You think he'll be there? He's
resigned from the Academy.
Yeah,
why we're not doing this tangent, Will? You have given me a hard out. Are you fond of Jules, sir? Just great farce stuff, like Desiree having to dump all the clothes in the water. I'm afraid they're still wet.
There's no doubt that I'm imagining he asked him to write the book for Sweeney.
Based off this.
Yeah, because you can see the crossover, because Sweeney is filthy in its own right.
Sweeney's filthy. Well, people often talk, Sondheim has often said many times his two favourite genres are farce and melodrama. And that's Sweeney. Like you wouldn't think of it as a farce, but the final half an hour of Sweeney Todd is just a 2 doors, 1 stair farce, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Except the stair is a killer chair that goes down into your cellar. And instead of people coming in and out and, oh, I say, where's Colonel Greenwald?
Or people getting mistakenly, you got that mistaken when Kills a Beggar Woman, stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Shut. That is, yeah.
Except you don't go, bloody hell, won't you shut up? Yeah. Oh, I say.
So I've had to shave. It's just a small prick.
Oh, I say, get in that box. Oh, I say.
My pies are hot.
Oh, I've got some hot pies.
Oh,
are you ready down there, Miss Lovett? Yes, I need some stuffing. Oh, she don't mean it.
Where's Mrs. Lovett gone, Mr. Todd? Oh, she's gone down for some air. There's foul smells coming from her chimney.
And then there's this whole thing of Mrs. Lovett maybe being pregnant, and she goes, Mrs. Lovett isn't pregnant. What's she doing downstairs? She's got something in the oven. Oh, no! This is great. In praise of women. She couldn't. I know. I see what you're talking about, because many people have said that I would be a very good Gaston.
Oh, and I would be your Lefeu.
Yeah, well, yes. When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs. Brilliant. So, dogs, kids, baby boys. Love Beauty and the Beast. I love the newspaper triggering him. The papers, the goddamn papers. What did you think of In Praise of Women, Will?
I thought it's very good, actually.
Yeah, very fun song, nice character song, brings her into the world. Yeah. However, it is my number 10.
It's not made my top 5.
And Happily Without a Time Bomb in Your Lily of the Valley Bouquet. Very witty book from Hugh Wheeler. I enjoy it. Every Day a Little Death. This is going in there. Well, I'm sorry.
I'll take that. I'll take that a lot.
Love it. Men are stupid, men are vain, love's disgusting, love's insane, a humiliating business. Oh, how true. And I love that it's a duet. I love that Anne sees what could become of her life.
I'd argue it's more of a trio.
Oh God! I was talking with Ava the other day about how when you look back at it, those summer sweaty, so hot as all drinking lockdown episodes were great.
Oh yeah.
And now here we are. The complete acceptance of two lousy marriages and the pain of the time being trapped in them. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful song. This was Hal Prince's favorite of the songs. So when it came to making the film, he wanted Sondheim to write more. Great stuff. Come, child, I must give you your advice for the day. If they're actors, they have to sleep in the stables. They will not be served my best champagne. I'm saving that for my funeral. Just 3 knockout lines. And then Weekend in the Country, arguably his third best, second best closing of Act 1 closer. A Little Priest.
Little Priest. What about
Ever After?
Ever After?
You can't say it without going.
Ever After. Elaine Stritch as the mysterious man narrator.
Oh, Will. Once upon a time. the conductor's down there.
They die, but they don't.
Yeah. The conductor's down there. Once.
That would be a good I'm going to make that as a TikTok, actually. The conductor, when Elaine Stritch is playing all these different parts, it's just dedicated to that.
Can I be Elaine Stritch?
You can. I'll edit them. I know how to edit.
Don't hold this. Yeah. Does anyone... Do you hold it for longer? Tonight. Here's a TikTok. Elaine Stritch on the opening night of Company in 1969. Colorized footage. Does anyone still wear a hat? And then Elaine Stritch on closing night. Does anyone? Gentlemen, you intrigue me.
Gentlemen.
Oh my God. Did you see him be Wolverine? This is great. When are we doing?
We've got time for this, Tom.
I know we don't have time for this. Weekend in the country, in the flesh. But the business with a mother would be hardly the business I'd worry about. Watching little things grow. Absolutely outrageous. That's my number 2. How do you feel about that?
Fine. Feel fine.
Feel fine. We're okay for time though, because the second act is rather short. Or at least doesn't have many songs.
No, I would say Act 1, the songs are very long. Whereas Act 2 are more your typical songs. Whereas up until, I would say, You Must Meet My Wife, it's all quite, we're going to do everything.
Well, I think it's less that they're long and more so that it's the constant bringing back in of the leader singers and the remember, and it's not that the actual songs are long. Every Day a Little Death is 2 minutes 50.
I do apologize, Tom.
You should apologize. No. Freed in this, who's the guy who fucks Petra in the woods. I'm confused. Sorry. The guy who's playing Frederick in this was the original Broadway cast album of Freed. Was the original Broadway cast Freed? Unhappily, we found the chateau quarantined for plague. Where does Countess? She's another Phyllis type. She's quite literally Phyllis again, isn't she? Which, of course, I love. And this is my daughter. Very funny, Sally Ann House. What is it with all this intensely loud coughing in the audience? Was that just me, or did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah. Yes, he's going to have sex with you, or blah, blah, blah. And it's exactly what he deserves. I'm not sure I appreciate that remark, dear. What a seductive cravat. How do you feel about the Countess as the play goes on, she sort of gets. She doesn't really get a good arc, does she? She sort of gets
No,
thrown away by Frederick, and then is just like, okay,
and
this
then
guy's
dies.
going to. No.
No.
Oh, you're thinking of Madame Armfelt. I'm talking about Every Day a Little Death.
Oh, sorry.
Madame Armfelt does not seduce Frederick. Young boy, come here in the cellar of the bar and the senior.
Relax, solitaire.
Relax, solitaire boy. It is the only game where you have to be completely truthful. Or as Elaine would do it, boy, come here.
I've got my cravat now.
Oh, I have actually had this ruined for me, Will. I saw some promotional materials.
What, for my show?
Yes.
I designed.
Ah, of course. Well, very good at putting photos in order. Well, I haven't seen the post yet. Have you done a poster?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I've seen the poster with all the pictures on.
All right, yeah, I've done a post. It's similar.
That's good. It would have been wonderful. You talk about this, because I'm sorry, Will. This might be my least favorite song in the show. Very, 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 very good. Probably my 12th.
Yeah. I can't really remember this one, if I'll be honest.
It's Frederick and the Count. It would have been wonderful if she'd only been ugly, if she'd only been
the sort of agony one.
Yes. Or dead. It would have been wonderful. But the woman was perfection. It's good.
I think it has more. It's got opportunity to be a lot funnier.
Yeah.
It could.
Instead it's all building up to or dead. It would have been wonderful. Yeah. But that's 4 minutes of build up.
I think they should start one-upping each other, then realize they're agreeing, and then go, oh, dead.
Yeah.
Lovely statue, though.
Say again?
Lovely statue.
Yes, I know. Well, that's another thing with the
opera.
With the grand opera.
Robert Downey Jr. is hiding underneath.
Robert Downey. Oh yes. No. It's not here. The bomb's not here. Oh. Are you an opera fan, Will?
I like the opera.
You're allowed 30 seconds of tangent. Have you seen an opera?
I've never seen an opera. I'd love to go to the opera, actually. Get all dressed up, go to the opera.
Let's go. Let's all get dressed up and go to the opera when I'm back in September, November. Okay, that's enough of a tangent. The server announcing the dinner is served with Frederick hiding is just pure farce bullshit. Love it. And then the full disclosure dinner sequence. Dun, 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 full disclosure. It's literally the exact same thing. Just not. Here, smash this too. Smash all the glasses.
I still got the Fox box dilemma.
However,
what
was Indie Box? Are you writing an email?
No, sorry.
You're just tapping.
It's like I've not smoked in 10 weeks.
It sounds wonderful, Will. Thank you. Send in the clowns.
Here we go.
Did it pay off, Will? In the show, is it? Because you have had what? Almost your entire life building up to this moment. That's a bit much. How was it? Did it pay off?
I liked it a lot. I think right. Let's talk about Sending the Clouds. It is. This week I've been wondering, should we put it number one in our list?
Okay.
It's a sensational song. I think it's one of the best songs he's ever written.
Number one on the canon.
Yeah. I don't think we will.
I don't think we will. I like A Little Priest at number one.
Oh yeah. We haven't done it yet, Tom.
It's true.
I mean, but yeah, I think it's covered to death.
Yes.
And to see it acted
and in its proper context with the acting thing that I was talking about earlier.
Acted to someone as well, because he's there. And I I thought and it brought so much more meaning to the song.
And with the dialogue halfway through.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Desiree. Yeah, it completely pays off, doesn't it? And I don't know whether we put it 1-1. We'll get there in a moment. Oh, we've got all that to do. So it's a song of irony, really. It's been done many times as an emotional ballad, but it's just not really that. Yeah, so originally this was supposed to be a song for Frederick. That's what Stephen was noodling with. But Hal Prince was like, no, Desiree needs a song in Act 2. And I think that this would be the scene to do it. However, Sondheim was like, no, that's Frederick's scene. Frederick, that's Frederick's scene. Frederick's doing all the talking, blah, blah, blah. And then Hal said, no, I've directed it in a way to make it Desiree's scene. And of course he had. And that is one of those stagings that's never really changed. Desiree sat on the bed, complete focus on her, whilst Frederick is saying all these things, and we can't help but not look at her. And it absolutely tears your heart out. So in 1980 and 1990, this was probably his favorite. This was most definitely his most famous composition. Do you think it's still his most famous song?
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the pop world.
I think a lot of people outside of the world of musical theatre, like when I do the joke of, people saying, Tom, do a song or whatever, and I go, I don't like singing, isn't it rich? People laugh, people know the song. And people know that first line, isn't it rich, isn't it great? Yeah, again, like you're saying, it was such a hit.
Would it have the same, I don't like singing, no more giants.
No. I either do, there's three I do. Please, no, I don't want to sing. Some folks like to get away, take a holiday. And that's the main one I do. No. I tell a lie. And the other one I do is, please, I really don't want to sing. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Then we get the Miller's Son. You're going to love this, Will. What song do I relate this to? Except it's at the end and not like early on in the middle of the first act.
What?
Another suitcase and another haul. Take a picture of another wall.
Where am I going to?
You'll get by.
Not ever, Perron.
Oh, no, every disadvantage you need if you want to succeed. No money, no cash, no starlight. There was nowhere she'd been at the age of 15.
Oh, it's great. Evita's great.
I'm going to have my shower to Evita today. That's one of those musicals where literally I put it on and then suddenly it all comes back to me. Somebody sang Don't Cry For Me Argentina at karaoke on Friday night, and I knew every word, and I was like, this, and that's not even my top 10 favorite song in that show. It was like, I'm 6s and 7s with you, and even though it was at a fucking karaoke with a load of drunk people, I know, it was outrageous, but the still absolutely gave me goosebumps. Was da 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 da. Yeah, the swelling. And in the film where it cuts back to her on the train, Will, you need to get on the film. I'm sorry.
I listened to the film soundtrack the other day because I really like the new one. They're like rock and roll Perron.
Yeah, but which isn't new. It's from the original concept album.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Great stuff.
At the governments blow their walls. Goodbye, bye. We're having a ball. Bye,
bye. We're having a ball.
God, I fucking love Evita. You know what else I think Evita does well in the film is that there's no interval. So you go straight through, whereas when you're watching it in the theatre, there's an interval. And so the second half is fucking misery.
It is, yeah, because you go straight from A New Argentina and Perron's Latest Slave, which I would argue one of the great closing of all time, straight into break, and then
Don't cry for me,
on
Edges.
this night, and then it's
Yeah.
it
Don't cry.
wasn't easy.
Yeah. What,
Better,
apart from
better.
Bear, she called me a whore. I can't believe they actually called me a whore. And apart from Rainbow High and Rainbow Tour, it is nothing but sad songs.
Yeah. She's a diamond.
Imagine
You
no
need
great
it.
lives.
It's weird. Yeah. I'll
You're with
30
me.
more seconds on Evita.
You're with me. Oh no.
Rainbow High is amazing. And then straight away, it's almost a song from Joseph. Franco's raining 70 out of 40s. But it's great.
I absolutely love Evita. Rainbow High is my anthem in many ways.
Rainbow High is my favourite song from that musical. And I would put it my favourite musical theatre song of all time.
Yes. That's going to be your case where if we do Andrew Lloyd Webber, I'm not having any Little Priest bullshit. Rainbow High is number one.
Oh, yeah.
The Miller's Son. What did you think of The Miller's Son, Will? Did it sort of take you for a loop of like, oh, Petra has a song and it's this great?
Yeah. It was fun.
It's a push and a wriggle and a crivel in the grass, and I can't even sing the song. It's so intricate and delicate and wonderful.
Yeah, and the timing, the ways it suddenly goes da 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 da, and then a little. Yeah, it's very good. Very good.
There seems to be a great deal going on in this house tonight. Just a really funny line, and then the wooden ring monologue again. Just a really painful. And who knows? Now he could have been the love of my life. What an incredible little. And then everything comes to a head, and everything's sorted out. Is them singing "Sending the Clowns" a bit much?
Yeah.
Aren't we a pair? Was that a farce? My fault, I fear. It is a bit much, isn't it? And then the smile of the fools was particularly broad tonight. The grandmother just dying. Is she dying or falling asleep?
Oh, she died.
She is dead.
She dead.
A Little Night Music. Here we go. Oh my God, this is so wow. A film version of A Little Night Music was released in 1977 with Liz Taylor. It's absolutely terrible. They cut Miller's Son, they cut Liaisons, they cut In Praise of Women. It was Harold Prince's second and final time directing for the film. Oh, wow. Variety called it an elegant-looking period romantic charade. The praise was for Diana Rigg's performance as the Countess. Very, very, very good. Prince says it's going to be a very romantic film filled with good-looking women and elegant costumes. What a way to sell a movie. Absolute last-minute call to bring Len Cariou back into the film because Peter Finch and a couple of other actors eventually bowed out. Len Cariou, 2 hours of sleep, was dragged into the recording booth and had to squeeze Liz Taylor's arm because she didn't understand music and beats. So he literally had to squeeze her arm in the recording booth as she laid down a couple of the songs. Pauline Kael's review. The film has been made as if Hal Prince has never seen a motion picture. That is why it does not get its own episode. The most critically acclaimed production, of course, is the 1990. Oh, top 5 lyrics, Will. Shoot.
Oh, I've only written now. I've just written.
Oh, that's fine. Now. But how are you feeling today? Are you corrupting the child? Don't. She flutters, how charming. She twitters, my word. She floats, isn't that alarming? What is she? A bird? He talks fondly of his wars and his horses and his whores.
Yeah.
I enjoy so charming, so winning, so unlike a wife. I also enjoy here. The last place I'm going is there. Let's talk about the 1995 Alan Tishmarsh production. No, the 1995 National Theatre production starring Judi Dench, directed by Sean Mateus, presumably always in a sleeveless leather jacket. Who you have seen a Sean Mateus production, Will? Did you know that?
Have I? Was it The Glass Menagerie?
No, it was No Man's Land with.
There you go.
So this was just this huge critically acclaimed thing at the National Theatre. Joanna Riding was Anne. Lawrence Gittard, who played the original Broadway Count Malcolm, was Frederick. Sian Phillips as Madame Armfeld. Patricia Hodge as the Countess. Dench received the Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Musical. Sondheim talking about this production. On a Midsummer Night's Eve in Scandinavia, when the sun never really sets, there is a great sense of erotic anticipation that's never fulfilled. So there's a lot of flirtation and sex in the air. Matthias directing Send in the Clowns. What was good about that was nothing you did propelled himself out of the room. There was a lot more confrontation in this one. This was the first time Sean Matthias had directed a musical, obviously paid off. How do you feel about this, Will? Have you seen the Olivier stage in person?
No.
No.
I've never been to the National Theatre.
Oh, yes. We've seen the Folly. You've seen the Follies, though. Anyway, the Olivier stage is this huge thing. How do you feel about Little Night Music on huge stages?
No. I think it'd be done well in the park.
Oh, yeah. This is like the Regent's Park did Into the Woods, didn't they? Why not just do this as well? Anyway, here we are. The reason we're here today, the Alan Titchmarsh production. The Alan Titchmarsh interviewing everybody. When I hear the first bars, it's so easy to remember. Alan, tell us what it's all about in 30 seconds. The fabulous Sian Phillips, when she finishes singing Liaisons, he goes, you know what? I think that might be one of my Desert Island discs. Now, Will, I Googled what Alan Titchmarsh's Desert Island discs actually were, expecting him to just have been saying that is bullshit. Yeah. But one of his Desert Island discs is Remember from A Little Night Music. Remember. Because on his honeymoon, he looked up and saw a canopy in red needing repair. And he would take, his book would be a P.G. Wodehouse Blanding novel, and he would take a box of watercolors. I love him talking to Sian Phillips. You're playing Judi Dench's mother. That's a bit of a knock. And then we have wonderful wigs and quite clever lighting and makeup. And Judi just has always just been a beautiful, incredible, just always the nicest woman, hasn't she? Do you like Judi, Will? I mean, I know you do.
Oh, go, explore the world.
Leave now. Go now.
Go now.
And there was the, what did you think of what we saw of the 1995 production? Obviously, it looks incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it looks great. I wish I saw it.
Looks perfectly.
I was alive.
Yes. The 2003 production starred Anna Kendrick as Little Frederica, Jeremy Irons as Frederick, and Juliet Stevenson as Desiree. That sounds rather good. I love Anna Kendrick. The 2008 London revival. So this had Alexander Hansen and Jessie Buckley and Hannah Waddingham. And then it moved to the Garrick Theatre in the West End for a limited season. And then eventually moved to Broadway, where it found your favourite Desiree, Will, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and your least favourite, Madame Arthur, Angela Lansbury. Why is Catherine Zeta your favourite? I don't disagree with you, but why?
From the clips I've seen, I think she's very excellent at portraying Desiree.
As an actress, yeah, she's very. Yes.
Also, I think she gives a lot of vulnerability to Desiree that I've not seen before.
Yeah. So she was replaced by
Bernadette Peters.
Bernadette and Elaine. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. One Lansbury quote. To come back to Broadway after all these years felt unnatural. It was Sondheim that approached her. And I said, my time has come to play this old bird. So I trotted out my acting and vocal skills once more. Trotted out being the operative word. She also used an earpiece.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so there's been, Elaine completely refused to use an earpiece. They suggested it. And so literally for the first 2 weeks of performances.
I bet they were like, Elaine, we want you to wear an earpiece because we've got a click track that we'd like you to work with.
No, literally the first 2 weeks of performances, she just would go, wait, I'm going to get it. She would just...
Really?
Literally, but in the villa, I'm going to get it. I don't want to make fun of her because it's not funny, but I just... it is funny. I just love the ballsiness of just going, no, everybody wait. And her struggling through it. I think it's wonderful. One of my favorite videos ever is her singing I'm Still Here for Barack Obama at the White House. And the video is 8 minutes long, Will, because she keeps forgetting the lines and her pianist is helping her through. And it's just this incredibly, it's sad in some ways, but also this funny, brilliant woman just being an absolute knockout until the very last moment. Well, I love her. Like, I absolutely love her. Which brings us on to Elaine Stritch with Theatre Talk. On the bows, basically, she didn't. So obviously, she's in a wheelchair the whole time, and she talks about the bows. When the lights get up, I stand up abnormally fast. I'm running around the theatre and telling people I can still take walking parts. She just didn't want everybody to think that she could only do that. Steve gave me 2 of the best pieces of direction I've ever had in my life to sing liaisons. Hal said, there's something you should know about that number. Whenever you feel a little off, you're great, you're terrific. And if you get depressed in any way about that song, there was a woman who overheard Steve one night coming out of the theater saying, well, my favorite song was The Azores. And then Michael Riedel goes, yeah, but what were the 2 pieces of advice? And then she remembers. And she goes, ah. And she only says one of them. At the end of the song, snore. She suddenly falls asleep, snore. He's so smart, I could kill him. And I'm not afraid of him anymore. She just, oh my God, I love the woman so much. I love the theater. This is a great moment. She says, I love the theater. And then she catches herself and goes, and I never come late. And that's why the lady is a tramp. And I'm happy to admit it. And then this is the final, and this is the final thing I want to end with Elaine Stritch, and then we'll do talk about some songs, is when they wanted to extend it and they were discussing the money for the extension. And she thought that she was being humble, and she just said, I'll take whatever Bernadette's doing. And the guy says, oh no, we can't do that. And she goes and she says, I'm being so big about it. And I tell you, it was one of the saddest, funniest moments of my life. But that's the theater. So what are you going to do? We call ourselves the Replacements. We're going to do a club act. God, I love Elaine. And I liked Bernadette as well. Right then, Will, here we go. Top 5 songs. Let's do 5. Let's do 5. So Send in the Clowns is a lock.
Yeah.
Now Later Soon as a thing is a lock.
Yeah.
Then I Want a Weekend in the Country is a lock.
Yeah. I'd like You Must Miss My Wife.
I agree. You must, and I'll use the Catherine Zeta-Jones version just for you, Will.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we have, right, let's have 2 songs. I don't give a shit.
Oh, no.
Sorry?
Let's have 1.
Oh, okay. Well, whoa. Miller's Son or Every Day a Little Deaf then?
Every Day a Little Deaf.
I also want the Miller's Son in there, Will. I'm sorry, I'm overthrowing you.
Okay.
The Miller's Son and Every Day a Little Deaf.
I'm going to.
You'll get back. I also want in there Rainbow High.
What tops our Sondheim list? Rainbow
High. I'm sorry, liaisons. I'm sorry. Okay, right. Have you got the ranking up, Will?
Yeah.
Right. So, let's rank these as they are. Send in the Clowns, then Now Later Soon, then Weekend in the Country, then You Must Meet My Wife, then The Miller's Son, then Every Day a Little Death.
Yeah.
That actually works, doesn't it? Okay, so Every Day a Little Death, where's that going?
Ooh, I would say.
I'd say before Too Many Mornings.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Every day a little death in the parlor in the square.
Written a lot of songs, hasn't it?
Yes, it's building, it's building. Right, The Miller's Son.
Is it Miller's Son? What's Too Many? Oh, that's from this.
No. Too Many Mornings is Follies, is the beautiful love song in Follies.
Ah, yes. Well, it's not better than that.
Oh, okay. So we want, well, there we go then. Is the Miller's Son there after Every Day a Little Death?
Nice.
Okay. You go for You Must Meet My Wife because you loved it.
Yeah. You Must Meet My Wife. I think it's I'm gonna say above Come Play With Me.
Yeah, definitely. Better than worse or better than Waiting for the Girls Upstairs?
How does that one go again?
It's from Follies. Waiting for the girls upstairs. It's when they're remembering things. I'd say it's better.
I would say it's better.
Well, that is absolute complete recency bias. I've realised that you don't remember these songs the minute we stop talking. You don't.
Some people.
It's not better. People. Okay, that means that we have 3 songs coming into the top 20. I'm happy with this. So, where's Weekend in the Country going?
I think Some People's better than that.
You think Some People's better than Weekend in the Country?
Yeah.
Okay. And what?
Now.
And it's better than Now?
Yeah, personally.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like how they're all together, but that's
yeah.
You don't like that either, do you?
No, I don't. That's bugging me, but
I agree with you, you son of a bitch. Right, okay. Wait. Okay, right. That's right. We can do this. Right. Send in the Clowns. Better than Rosa's Turn?
Yeah.
Better than Company?
Yeah.
I agree.
Is this where you're? It's better than Losing My Mind.
It's not better than Losing My Mind.
It's better than Losing My Mind.
Well, it's legitimately not better than Losing My Mind. Right. How are we going to do this? Do I have to pick cards?
I would personally.
You want to put it at the top, which is insane, which isn't going to happen.
I would put it at the top.
You want to put it at the very top?
No, I would put it at number 2. I think it's better than Ladies for Lunch.
I just don't think
it's the bit. It's the da, 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 that bit.
I just legitimately do not think it's better than Losing My Mind.
Right, I'll give it to you.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I'm shuffling my deck.
Oh, and soon you'll be on deck.
That is true. That is true. Yes. Well, right. Okay. Here we go. So, what is this for? Right. You want it at 2.
Yeah.
I want it at 4.
Yeah. Red.
You're going to go red.
Yeah.
Is that how we're doing this? We're not doing like odd or even or something.
Now let's cut. You cut and then cut one for me.
Oh, so we're building the tension.
Yeah.
Right. You're watching me do this live, and I am a grifter. So. Okay. Right.
He's counting them cards.
Shuffled. Absolutely
okay.
Shuffled. All right.
Yeah.
Will.
Stop.
Okay. Your card is selected. You just saw it was black, so I'm going to put that back in. How is this working?
Value. Whoever has the highest. Was that an ace?
Oh, okay. Whoever has the highest. Aces.
Was that an ace, Tom?
No. Aces. I didn't know that that's what we were doing. So whoever has the highest. Okay.
Ace high.
Ace is high. Here we go.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want the first card or the second?
I'll have the first card, please.
Okay. 2. A joker. What's it? What? Wait, no.
Joker doesn't have a number, Tom.
No. I get this next card.
All right.
A 6. Sorry.
Okay. It's all right. It's fine.
Do you want to do best of 3?
No, let's put it at 4.
All right. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Because as a song, as a song, I don't know what to say. A Little Night Music, absolutely beautiful show. Bit of a rush show, bit of a fun one. We've hit. I feel like we've said all we need to say. I've said all we need to say. Yeah, that has been A Little Night Music. Any final thoughts, Will, on A Little Night Music before we leave today?
Beautiful, and I would like to see a contemporary reimagination.
That sounds disgusting. I do not want to see a fucking contemporary. What the fuck? No.
I want Jamie Lloyd to direct it.
No stage, just James McAvoy with a microphone. I'm so ugly. I'm Cyrano de Bergerac. What the fuck is happening?
He murdered Evita for me.
Jamie Lloyd. Oh yeah. Taking my phone, taking a selfie, It's Evita taking a selfie. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me, Will.
To buy
a college education. Okay, 3, 2, 1, Will. We're both going to end with our favourite line from Perron's Latest Flame. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Our only good parts are between the thighs. No. Pick a different song. What's your favourite line from? You pick the song.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm gonna say it's Ava Beware of the City.
Yeah. Ava Beware of the City. Oh no.
She really brightens
up. You're out of town. You be McGaldy and I'll be Ava. Go.
Ava, beware of the city. It's hungry and cold. I've done the wrong words there.
Can't be controlled, will run wild. Girls who are good.
Good night and thank you.
Well, I was fully ready here for
different pies.
Well, I was fully ready here for bad is good for me. Is that I'm born so pure and so ignored? I've only been predictable, respectable. Birds fly out of here. So why the hell can't I?
What's new?
Oh God, fucking hell. When are we doing an emergency Evita pod? I love Evita so much. What show did
I spend time with you, talk about Evita, the more it goes up in your musical ranking.
Yeah. It was, Will, it's been a pleasure talking to you today on our Evita episode. Wait, what show did we do today?
Well, maybe next year.